Hi everyone. So I just saw some EX-04 reveals and I thought that they were fire. I had this idea before using Mother D Reaper as Digisorption Material, but now there's a different mechanic that's a little similar. So basically you do want to run Mother D Reapers because it's a 15,000 DP Digimon that you can bring out on your second turn. So first turn you hatch it, second turn you bring it out. But then second turn is also the turn that you are able to attack. So as soon as you are attacking, then the Mother D Reaper is already on the field. So in EX-04, there's this mechanic called Alliance. When this Digimon attacks by suspending one of your other Digimon in play, add the suspended Digimon's DP to this Digimon's and gain security attack +1 for the attack. So unfortunately, it's not an effect that lasts for the turn, but only for the attack, but it's still pretty good. So I saw Terriermon and thought this was like a really good card. I saw Unveiled, I thought, okay, it's not as good as Terriermon, because if I'm playing Mother D Reapers as my eggs, then I can't hatch into a level 3. I can't hatch into a level 2, then Digivolve level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6 in the raising area. I have to hard play my other Digimon. So I was like, oh yeah, Terriermon is a 4 cost, but essentially when you attack with Terriermon, you can attack for 19,000 DP for 2 security attacks. So I was like, oh yeah, 4 cost is really good, because if I'm playing Mother D Reaper, then this thing can swing on your second turn 19,000 DP, 2 security checks, and that's really good. For Untilamon, I'm thinking at first I don't really want to play Untilamon because I would have to Digivolve on top of Terriermon, but I didn't really see a point at the time of why I would do that. But then I realized that Untilamon's yellow. When Digimon, Terriermon and Untilamon are yellow. When Digimon and Untilamon are purple. So this is great for Ophanimon fall down mode. So if you wanted to continue digivolving, you can go up to Ophanimon fall down mode. You get the purple and the yellow proc, and then you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon if you have a purple card in its Digivolution sources. If you have a yellow card in its Digivolution sources, you recover 1. And then on deletion, you can play one purple or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash. So you can play a Terriermon or one Digimon. So I thought, okay, yeah, I can see myself playing Untilamon and actually, both of the Untilamons. There's a slight mistake here. This is supposed to be level 5. But yeah, I can see myself playing both of the Untilamons, the yellow one and the purple one. Just so then I can possibly Digivolve into Ophanimon fall down mode if I want. If I go Terriermon and then the purple Untilamon, then I can get both effects. Or if I go Wendigomon, then yellow Untilamon, I get both effects. So it seems like including the level 5s isn't necessary, but they can help you. At first, I was thinking about this Lopmon. I was like, I don't really want to play the Lopmon because I just want to play these cheap level 4s that cost 4 memory. But then I was thinking, why would I play a level 3 and then go to level 4? So this is 3 cost to play and then Digivolves for 2 into Cherrymon or Wendigomon. I was thinking that would be spending 1 more memory than I would if I did that instead of just Digivolving. Instead of just playing Terriermon or Wendigomon for 4, I would play this for 3 and then Digivolve for 2. So then it would be 5 memory total. But then I looked at the Lopmon. So it's a pretty good pseudo green memory boost effect. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck on play. Add 1 2-color green card and 1 Tamer card with Shuchong Wang in its name among them to your hand. So basically, if it's 2 color, green and something else, then you can add it to your hand. So it's like a pseudo green memory boost. But I say pseudo because I can also search for cards like Davis, Motomiya, Ken Ichijoji, Megadef, Gigadef. So as long as it's any card with green that's dual color, then you can add it to your hand. It doesn't have to be a green Digimon. So it's beneficial in that you can get Tamers and options, but it's a little bit detrimental because you can't get something like Lopmon because it's only mono green, Cherrymon because it's mono green. But I think that's a good inclusion for this deck. Not because of that effect. Like, that effect is pretty good to limit the amount of times that you brick. But what's really good is the inheritable. Your turn, when you suspend a Digimon for an alliance, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a 2-color green Digimon card in your hand, paying its Digivolution costs. When this Digimon would Digivolve with this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. So, I was like thinking, you know what? It costs you a little bit more memory to play Lopmon and then Digivolve into Terriermon or Wendigomon. But after that initial memory investment that you put into it, you can then Digivolve into Antilamon, or actually, yeah, the yellow Antilamon or the purple Antilamon for just 1 memory. This Digivolves for 3 from a level 4 2-color green Digimon, and Terriermon and Wendigomon are both 2-color green level 4 Digimon. So they Digivolve for 3 into Antilamon, yellow or purple. Lopmon reduces that cost by 2 when you use Alliance, and then you Digivolve with Lopmon's inheritable. So you can go into Antilamon level 5 for just 1 memory. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can see this. So it costs you 1 more memory to get to the Terriermon or Wendigomon than if you would just play them from your hand. But you save 2 memory going into the Antilamons. So you are still getting a 1 memory advantage. Also getting like the searching effect from Lopmon, getting the Digivolution bonuses from Digivolving. So you are Digivolving 2 times, you are searching 1 time, you still gain the 1+ memory advantage. If you were to Digivolve from Terriermon or Wendigomon straight into Antilamon, it would be 3. But if you use the inheritable and then Digivolve from Terriermon or Wendigomon into Antilamon using Lopmon's inheritable, then it would just be 1 cost. So you are gaining that memory advantage. So Lopmon easily helps with bricking in the game, and it allows you to go to your level 5s for cheap. So it's like, oh yeah, Lopmon is a really good card to play. So here's what I'm thinking. After EX-04 comes out, I'm going to run 4 Lopmons, 4 Terriermons, 4 Wendigomons. There's a very good chance that they will have a Terriermon coming out in the set with an effect similar to Lopmon, just based on recent patterns I've seen, and just because, you know, this Digivolves from Lopmon or Terriermon for reduced costs. This Digivolves from Lopmon or Terriermon for reduced costs. So I would assume that Lopmon would get you a 2-color green card and 1 Tamer card with Shu Chong Wong. And I would assume that they would make a similar Terriermon, but instead of Shu Chong Wong, it would get like a Henry Wong. Like, this is just based on my assumptions. But I think that they would make a similar Terriermon with an effect like this Lopmon. And if they do that, then I would probably throw that Terriermon into this deck to also limit the amount of times of bricking. But based on the cards that are recently that have been revealed so far, this is what I'm working with. Okay, Lopmon, Terriermon, Wendigomon, Antilamon, and I tried it out a little bit on Tabletop Simulator, just playing against myself. I didn't play it against an opponent, but actually it's pretty good. So if you on turn 1 play Lopmon for 3 memory, You search, maybe grab Terriermon, Wendigomon, Antilamon, or the other Antilamon that you need. And then your second turn, if your opponent gives you at least 2 memory, then you can Digivolve into Terriermon or Wendigomon, and then attack, suspending the Mother D Reaper that you now have in play to attack for 19,000 DP, 2 security attacks. But if you use the Lopmon Inheritable, then you can also go to Antilamon, yellow or purple, for 1 cost. So this is a possible way to memory choke them, or just going up to your level 5s quicker. So you can do that. I think that it's good, because like even then turn 2 you can get 2 checks in. Your Digimon will probably not be deleted in the security battle. So what's interesting that I want to go back to is that the alliance effect is only for the attack. So if you use the alliance skill with Mother D Reaper, then you gain the 15,000 DP for that attack only, but that attack is security check 1 and security check 2. So if you encounter something like a Wyvern's Breath during check 1, then yes, you lose the 15,000 DP for check 1, but your check 2 still carries over. And then after the check 1 and check 2 have been over, then that attack is finished. But because you only get the DP buff for the duration of the attack, now that the attack's finished, you lose that 15,000 DP, so your Terriermon or Wendigomon would be deleted. So there are some benefits to Alliance that make it better than jamming. So jamming, you can live through security battles even if your opponent's DP, even if the security Digimon's DP is higher than your attacking Digimon's DP. So that's with jamming. With Alliance, you get a 15,000 DP buff, so you can live through any security Digimon battle, assuming that they don't have any DP additive effects like TK Takaishi, or Zoe Orimoto, just anything that does not increase their DP above 19,000. Then you're going to live through any security battle. You also seen it's better than jamming, just in case they have a Wyvern's Breath, and then you hit the Wyvern's Breath. The jamming Digimon would probably be deleted if they have 15,000 DP or lower. But if you have the Alliance, like the Wyvern's Breath does not do anything for the second security check, you can still get that in, and then your Digimon would be deleted. So I did think about some hijinks. I was thinking, oh yeah, let's use a Davis and Ken, and then attack with Terriermon, get 15,000 DP plus from Mother D Reaper, and then security attack +1, and then Digivolve again into Antilamon, and then attack again. And it does not add up the security attacks. It does not add up the DP that you can alliance with, because currently Alliance is only for that attack. It's not for the turn. So after that attack is over, you lose your buffs. It's still pretty good, because if you can cheese out 2 security checks on your second turn, then hopefully your Digimon will probably be still there. It's still really good tempo gain for you. This is different than Rookie Rush, where if you attack their security, your Digimon has a pretty good chance of being deleted. This method almost guarantees that your Digimon will still be there after the security checks, unless they have some kind of hard removal. If it's soft removal, like Wyvern's Breath, it doesn't stop you from getting your second check-in. So I did consider Ofunimon Fall Down mode. I still think that it's a pretty good card to include, just because you have yellow and purple, so you can reliably recover. And Antilamons do have end of attack effects that I do want to mention. So this yellow Antilamon, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, recover +1. And then this Antilamon, you may play 1 green level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. So, an example of how this one could come in handy, I don't think that would come in handy that much, but it might come in handy, is if on turn 1 you hatch Mother D Reaper, you play Lopmon, and then you search for Terriermon, WereGarurumon, Antilamon, and Titanmon. Any of those would do. And then second turn, you Digivolve into Terriermon or WereGarurumon, attack. So you get rid of 2 security checks, 2 security cards, and then you play WereGarurumon or you play Terriermon from your hand. So you have 1 on the field, 1 they just played. The one that is on the field already has the Lopmon underneath, and it's suspended. So if your opponent then on their turn attacks into your suspended Digimon, the Cherrymon or WereGarurumon, whichever one's on top of Lopmon, on your third turn, you can then Digivolve into the purple Antilamon, attack your opponent, and then end of attack you can play the Lopmon that is now in your trash. So you are only playing 1 green rookie so far. If there is a Terriermon that works very well with this deck, I will add it in, so you have 8 rookies instead of 4. But yeah, it could help you to bring back your Lopmon if necessary. I don't think that's going to come up that much. The Cherrymon, I just thought would be funny. So if you go into Lopmon and then Terriermon on your second turn, so Lopmon first turn, Terriermon second turn, then if you have 2 memory, you're now at 0. You don't choose to Digivolve into Antilamon, yellow or purple, so you're still at 0. This attacks your opponent's security. This will probably live. And then you Digivolve this Terriermon into Cherrymon for a cost of 3 because he can't Digisorption anything. So because you use Alliance on Mother D Reaper and you have a suspended Mother D Reaper and now your Cherrymon's on the field, your opponent cannot attack your security without you redirecting their attack to Mother D Reaper. That's like probably what you would do. So if they have a Digimon that's lower than 15,000 DP, then they can't get rid of the Mother D Reaper. So you have like this pseudo blocker Mother D Reaper. So you can Alliance to suspend the Mother D Reaper, and then after you get your checks in, you Digivolve your Terriermon or WereGarurumon to Cherrymon. It would be suspended, but it doesn't really matter because as long as they do not have removal for your Cherrymon, or if they have no Digimon over 15,000 DP, then they can't reliably attack you and then live because you just redirect their attack to Mother D Reaper. So Samadhi Santi, I'm thinking about it. I'm not fully sure if I want to keep this card. I'm thinking I'm going to actually replace offensive plugin A. I don't think that offensive plugin A is useful enough to stay. So I would probably replace this. I may replace Samadhi Santi later on. So this is good for when you want to suspend your opponent's Digimon. And this is like more of a mid-game, late-game card. So if you have multiple Mother D Reapers in play, you don't really need multiple Mother D Reapers. You can just use them as suspension fodder for Samadhi Santi. So you suspend 1 Mother D Reaper, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, either to stop them from blocking you, or to swing over them, or even stop them from attacking you, actually. So this is good for being able to swing over with piercing, being able to stop them from blocking your attack that you might actually need to win the game, or just stopping them from attacking you to slow them down. I'm using Lightning Blade. So you don't have any armor forms in your deck. I had considered running the Terriermon from BT8 actually, but I don't think that's worth it. It may be worth it if they do reveal a no, I said the wrong thing. I had considered playing the Rapidmon from BT8. So it may be worth it if you change the deck around a bit. But currently it's not that worth it. In my build, I don't think that's necessary. It may be like a splash card if they introduce a Terriermon in EX-04. Because this digivolves for 3 from Terriermon, so it may be like a splash card that you might want to try out. But currently, with no Terriermon introduced, with not that many Tamers in my build, I don't think that the Rapidmon's worth it. So there's no armor forms in this deck. But you don't need to ignore its color requirements, because essentially all of your Digimon except for Ophanimon Fall Down Mode and Lopmon are green. So you don't need to ignore color requirements. One of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gets plus 2000 DP and piercing for the turn. So you're basically not going to pierce something with Lopmon. You can't really pierce anything with Lopmon because it's 1000 DP. With Terriermon, Wendigomon, Titanmon, and Titanmon, then you have a really good chance of piercing. So if your opponent just attacked you with their Digimon and it's still alive, you can just pierce over them. 2 checks, 19,000 DP or 23,000 DP. So you can just pierce over them very easily. So this is just really good because like all your level 4s and all your level 5s that you are attacking with are dual color. I don't really think that you want to attack with Cherrymon. Terriermon, Wendigomon, and Titanmon are your main attackers. So all your main attackers are dual color, and they have the potential, they have the compatibility to work with Lightning Blade. So 1 cost to give them 2000 DP and piercing is really good. If you start your turn with 2 memory, with at least 2, you can Samai Santi your Mother D Reaper, then Lightning Blade your attacker. So you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. And then if you have another Mother D Reaper, again, this is like more of a late game, mid game card. And then if you ally yourself with another Mother D Reaper, then you can just swing over something. 19,000, 23,000 DP. With piercing 2 security checks. I don't think that the offensive plugin is actually necessary. I was like considering it. It would have been very good, especially if you retained your security attack +1 and the 15,000 DP buff, but I don't think that retains it for the turn. So after I looked at these cards more carefully and what Alliance actually does, I realized that offensive plugin A is not that necessary. Davis and Ken actually isn't that necessary either. So I was thinking that what I could do is I could go from Terriermon, attack, and then Digivolve into Titanmon, and then suspend Davis and Ken to unsuspend Titanmon. So I can get more attacks in that way, but I'm not sure if this is really that necessary. It is helpful mainly for the +1 memory effect, which is surprising, but that's what it's for in this deck. It can help you unsuspend your dual color Digimon, but you know, just getting 1 memory is pretty good too. This is more so like a late game card that helps more than an early game card. It can get you the extra memory that you need to go to Terriermon or Titanmon if your opponent memory chokes you. But I think that Davis is much better early game. So Davis sets you to 3. You can search top 3 cards of your deck for a blue or green Digimon. You are playing Lopmon, and most of your Digimon are green, honestly, except for Ophanimon Fall Down Mode. so Davis can search for any of your Digimon. I'm playing Hammer Sparks because you may need the memory, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm not quite sure how useful Hammer Spark actually is. I might just take it out. But then, of course, the 4 Lobomons, so you can just swing for game when you need to. So this was version 1 of my idea. Version 2 is just slightly different, ever so slightly different. So I took away the offensive plugin A. I replaced it with Tropical Venom, so when you use this card, one of your opponent's Digimon gains on deletion lose 2 memory until the end of their next turn. So you can suspend one of their Digimon using Samadhi Santi, or if they already have a suspended Digimon, you don't have to suspend anything. Then use that on the suspended Digimon. Give their Digimon the effect that when their Digimon is deleted, they lose 2 memory. And then you swing over that Digimon, hopefully with piercing. Even without piercing, it's still pretty good, because you are removing one of their Digimon, you gain 2 memory, because your opponent loses 2 memory. So I'm thinking about getting rid of the Hammer Sparks. I'm not sure if they are really that necessary. I realize that I don't really need the Lobomons. I play Lobomon in my other decks just because, you know, sometimes it's useful if you brick and then you need to Digivolve over a level 3 for 2 memory. So I was like thinking about Korikakumon or I'm blanking. Or WereGarurumon, but you know, you aren't digivolving over any blue level 3s, so you can just digivolve over Tamers for 2. So the 6000 DP could be useful, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, no, it's not really useful. This is more like a finisher. Like in other decks, like these come out maybe mid game. In my deck, I'm only wanting the blue hybrid to come out late game as like a finisher. So Kumamon works so much better. So I replaced the Lobomon with Kumamon because when Digivolving, you can trash one Digivolution card from the bottom of one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's like, yeah, this is much better. Just in case they have a blocker inheritable or some kind of inheritable that I want to trash and get rid of. So this is pretty good. Even if they have something like an Upamon under one of their Digimon, I can just get rid of the Upamon. It's still beneficial. So I'm running Kumamons instead of the Lobomons. I don't really care if the Kumamon is deleted in the security check, because this is probably one of the last 2 security checks that I would want to go into Kumamon for. But yeah, this is my rough idea of the deck. Lopmon, Terriermon, Antillamon, Wendigomon, Antillamon, Ophanimon Fall Down mode to complement Antillamon, and Terriermon and Wendigomon. So just in case I want to use this inheritable, when I'm attacking with my level 5 Antillamons, I cannot use that inheritable to go into a Funimon fall down mode because it's not a dual color green Digimon, but I can use that inheritable to go to Titanmon. So I just looked through the list of all possible dual color green Digimon, and I think that Titanmon is probably the best addition for my deck, the best inclusion for my deck. So it has piercing innately, so you don't need to use Lightning Blade on it. It can work with Lightning Blade, but it already has the piercing, so you don't need to use Lightning Blade. When Digivolving, you may trash up to 3 cards in your hand. For each card trashed by this effect, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So you can suspend their Digimon. So if you do not choose to attack with Antillamon and then Digivolve up into this, you just Digivolve it normally for 4 cost. You can suspend their Digimon, gain memory, and then swing over that Digimon they just suspended. Because for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon, you gain 1 memory. Not just the Digimon that you suspended, but all of your opponent's Digimon that are suspended after the first part of the effect. then you gain 1 memory for each of them. So this is a pretty good level 6 for the deck. Honestly, you can situationally digivolve from Untilomon to Titanmon when using Alliance with the Lopmon inheritable. So you can digivolve for 2 instead of 4, and then you can gain up to you can gain a bunch of memory. I was about to say up to 3, but that's not entirely true. You can be gaining more than 3. But yeah, you can choose to digivolve into this when you use Alliance when you're attacking, or you can just digivolve normally, gain memory, suspend your opponent's Digimon, swing over them with piercing. So this is good. Whether you're using the Alliance and then digivolving with the Lopmon inheritable, or if you just digivolve normally and then suspend your opponent's Digimon. So this just takes the place of Samadhi Santi if you only want to suspend something for that turn and then run over it, or just suspend a blocker. Samadhi Santi is a lingering effect that lasts through the end of your opponent's next turn. But, if you just want to run over something, if you just want to disable a blocker, then this is also a really good card. I don't think the Cherrymon may be that necessary, but I'm going to test more of the deck, because it does sound like, oh yeah, if I want to end my turn, I don't have anything better to do. If I don't have a Terriermon, Wendigomon, or Lopmon to hard play from my hand, or if I don't necessarily want to play a Tamer from my hand, then I can just digivolve my level 4 into Cherrymon, and then have this 15,000 DP Digimon become a pseudo blocker. Like, that seems pretty good. So it's just a way of slowing your opponent down, keeping your security cards untouched, unless they can somehow get rid of Mother D Reaper, Cherrymon, or have a Digimon that's over 15,000 DP. Then this becomes a hard wall for them to overcome. So the Cherrymon just seems good. It doesn't seem good enough for me to include more copies, because I do want to have Untilomon and Purple Untilomon. But I am exploring the idea, because some of these cards may actually not be necessary. Like, for example, Hammer Spark may not be necessary. So it is good. I had considered it, but I don't think that it's that reliable, because I have to play it only after I play one of my blue Tamers. So I can't really Hammer Spark early game if I need to. So I may just replace the Hammer Spark, or get rid of some Hammer Sparks for more Cherrymons, or get rid of Tropical Venom for more Cherrymons, or some Isanti for more Cherrymons. But yeah, this is my rough idea of the deck. I just want to go over what my thoughts are on Lopmon, Terriermon, and Untilomon, like this whole archetype. But the Alliance seems pretty fun to me. I'm going to update this deck like much later, once EX-04 comes out. But honestly, I think that Mother D Reaper is the way to go with the Alliance archetype. It just seems like the best Digi-Egg, because even you can just play Digimon normally, and then you just digivolve into a level 3 or level 4, and then you use Alliance on level 3 or level 4, but it doesn't seem worth it to gain like a measly 4,000 DP. So this becomes like an 8,000 DP Digimon, or this becomes like a 10,000 DP. Like, it seems better, but it doesn't seem as good as becoming like a 19,000 DP Digimon. So it just seems like so worth it to just play Mother D Reapers. You are giving up your raising area just for the Mother D Reapers, but a 4 cost that has 2 swings, 2 security checks, I should say. 2 security checks for 19,000 DP on your second turn seems really good. And then on your third turn, you can swing with that again if it's not delayed, or if you played another one on your second turn, then you can swing with that on your third turn for another 2 checks, 19,000 DP. So you just have Digimon out that your opponent needs to get rid of, or you can just swing with them again. Or if they don't get rid of it, if they get rid of it, then they're not attacking your security. So, it's putting a bunch of pressure on them early on. So you just swing very, very hard, very early, and then they have to get rid of your Digimon when they can. Or if they don't get rid of it, then you can just get rid of 6 security cards, 5 securities on on your third turn. So I think this is insane. I like this deck. It feels like you only want to hard play Lopmon, Terriermon, Digimon, which is fine because these are pretty cheap to play. They're like around the cost of rookies. So just playing them and like having 12 Digimon that you want to play, that's pretty similar to 12 to 14 rookies. So, this is pretty good. You have 12 Digimon cards that you can hard play. You have some level 5s if you need to Digivolve up, Cherrymon if you want a pseudo blocker, a Funimon if you are able to recover or delete a level 4 or lower Digimon that your opponent has, Titanmon if you want to suspend something, run over it with piercing, gain more memory because of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Samai-Santi if you want to suspend something to run over, suspend something to disable a blocker, or just disable one of their attackers next turn. Lightning Blade to give your attackers piercing. Tropical Venom if you attack into a suspended Digimon, or even if you use it on one of their blockers. It doesn't have to be suspended in that case. But if you use this on one of your opponent's Digimon that will be deleted by you running over it, or just using it on a blocker to either gain the 2 memory or disincentivize them from blocking you. This is pretty good for the memory gain, for you to do more shenanigans. Hammer Spark, I actually think may not be that necessary. I'm going to test this deck out more on Tabletop Simulator. But yeah, I think that if they do introduce a Terriermon, I would probably hit the Hammer Sparks first. I would get rid of the Hammer Sparks, but then the Terriermon. I may move some other stuff around for putting in more copies of Cherrymon, Titanmon, or a Funimon Fall Down mode. The Kumamons don't necessarily have to be at 4 copies, so I can just hit this down to 2 or 3. But yeah, there are some cards I probably can hit to increase the level 5 Cherrymon or the level 6s. The Hammer Sparks don't seem that necessary for the deck, so I may hit them out too. But yeah, this deck seems fun. Just being able to get early aggression, a bunch of security checks without your Digimon dying, and then your opponent being forced to get rid of your Digimon at the cost of not being able to attack into your security, or just letting your Digimon stay alive, and then you attacking again into your opponent's security. So if they don't remove the threat, you can just get rid of their security cards like nothing. If they remove the threat, then they have to use their attack on your Digimon. Their Digimon's now suspended, so you are able to pierce over them if you have the necessary cards to do so, or you can just ignore their suspended Digimon, just keep attacking their security to get more checks in. So it adds a bunch of pressure. It's pretty easy for you to pilot around. So do I need to get rid of their Digimon? Do I need to attack their security? They have a suspended Digimon. Do I have a Lightning Blade in hand? Okay, I do. Let's attack over their Digimon. Get rid of their Digimon. Get rid of security cards. This is pretty easy to pilot around. There are more piercing cards. Not as good as Lightning Blade. I think it's Pion Dump. One of your Digimon gains piercing for the turn, and then none of these effects matter because you don't play Ngoromon. But it's a 2-cost card that gives piercing instead of a 1-cost card. So just in case I want more piercing effects, if I find out that, oh yeah, I do need more piercing, and then the 4 copies of Lightning Blade doesn't cut it, it may be worth it to pay 1 extra memory just to have access to Pion Dump. So instead of 4 cards of piercing, I can get 6 cards of piercing in my deck, or just adding more copies available of piercing. Even though if they cost a little bit more, they still seem worth it to have. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So yeah, thank you for watching. My thoughts on this EX-04 alliance mechanic. It is kind of a long video, but yeah, this seems like this alliance mechanic just blows my earlier Digisorption concept out of the water. My earlier concept did involve, Mother D Reaper being used as Digisorption Material, which is fine because you can just redirect attacks to Cherrymon, but Cherrymon did not have a pivotal role in that deck. In this deck, Mother D Reaper really takes the stage because you are just swinging with a bunch of DP when you can. So Mother D Reaper actually means a lot to this deck, more so than it did in my earlier deck, because now the DP actually matters, and you are able to swing over Digimon. So even if you don't attack into their security, if they have like a boss Digimon with 17,000 DP, or some large amount of DP that is really hard for most people to get rid of, then you can just suspend their Digimon, or if it's already suspended, just swing over it, and they're just like, oh my god, you just got rid of my 19,000 DP Digimon, 20,000 DP Digimon, because you can go all the way up to like 23,000. So they're just like, okay. And then you pierce them too, so it's just ridiculous. But yeah, this seems like a deck that I would love to run. Get rid of the Hammer Sparks, probably. The Davis and Ken, not really for the unsuspending effect. It can be used for that, but just having an extra source of 1 memory at the beginning of the turn can be useful. I'm not sure how useful it is. So I may make some adjustments here after testing. But yeah, this seems pretty solid right now. Yeah, the only issues that I really have are the Hammer Sparks. I don't think that they're necessary, so I may add in more of these cards in. But I'm very happy with this archetype. I can't wait to play it once EX-04 comes out. And thank you for watching my video.